Hello everyone and welcome back to Sade Crochets. For this tutorial we will be making a really pretty matching thong bikini to go with the last bra top the bikini top that I made a few days ago. So I'll be using the same yarn that I used in that video, which was Lily Sugar and Cream, which is a medium weight 4 cotton yarn, and this is the color Rose. And then I'll also be using a G hook, which is a 4mm hook, and I'll briefly be using an F hook, which is a 3.75mm hook. I'm just going to use this on the border, but that's optional. You can totally stick to your G hook if you like for the whole thing. And then you'll also need a pair of scissors. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is use our G hook and make a slip knot. And we'll chain out our foundation chain. So size small and medium, you can chain out 27 chains. A large can do 30 chains, and a 1X can do 33 chains. So go ahead and chain that out. All right, so once you chain your chain for your size, we're going to work a double crochet 3 together across the second, third, and fourth chain from the hook. So we're going to skip this first chain and start off working into the second. So yarn over, insert your hook into that second chain from the hook, and pull up a loop like you're going to do a double crochet, and then yarn over and pull through 2 and stop there and don't finish your double crochet. And then we're going to do that 2 more times across the next 2 stitches. So yarn over, insert your hook into that next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, and then yarn over, insert your hook into 1 more stitch, the next stitch, and pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through 2. So now you have 4 loops on your hook, so yarn over and pull through all 4. And from here we're going to put 1 double crochet in every stitch across until we have 1 stitch left. All right, and then when you have 1 stitch left, we're going to put 3 double crochets into this last stitch in this last chain space. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so in total you should have for small and medium you should have 26 stitches in this row, and a large you should have 29, and a 1X you should have 32 stitches in this row. So just take a moment and double check and make sure that you do have 26, 29, or 32. And then from here we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. And now we're going to work our spiked puff stitches like we did in the last video. So yarn over and do a double crochet in the first stitch, and then in the next 3 stitches we'll also be putting 1 double crochet. So 1, 2, and 3. So now you have 4 double crochets total. We're going to count back to these 3. We're always going to work with these 3 double crochets at a time, and then we're going to put a diagonal post stitch across the 3. So, and every row is going to start off with 1 double crochet and end with 1 double crochet. So we're going to yarn over and insert our hook into this open space under the first of the 3 double crochets, which would be the second double crochet of the row. So yarn over and insert your hook into that space below that double crochet, and pull up a loop And then when you pull up that loop, you're going to pull it across so that it's kind of like the same height as the last double crochet we did. So we're going to do that 3 times. So that's 1. So yarn over, insert your hook back into that same space and pull up a loop and pull it across. That's 2. Yarn over, insert your hook into that same space and pull it across. And that's 3. And you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 loops on your hook. And then from there, we'll yarn over and pull through all 7 of those loops. So sometimes you have to go back and forth to get them all the way through. But that is our diagonal puff stitch. And we're just going to repeat that across. So you want to make sure you don't work into the double crochet that was used, which is under here. So just make sure you go and work in the next one. So we're going to repeat that spike stitch. So we're going to put 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to work that spiked puff stitch into that first of the 3 double crochets. We're going to work into that space right below it. So we'll make another puff stitch. 1, 2, and 3. And then yarn over and pull through all of those. So we're going to be repeating that all the way down this row until we have 1 stitch left. So it should work out that you have your sets of 3, and then you should have 1 stitch left at the end of this row. So go ahead and finish that all the way down, and I'll meet you. All right, so this is what it looks like, and then you'll have your 1 stitch left. So go ahead and put 1 double crochet in that very last stitch. And that's what it looks like so far. So from here, that was row 2, and row 2 is the first row of our little repeat, and then we're going to have 1 more row of the repeat, which will be row 3. So from here, chain 1 and turn, and we're going to put a single crochet 3 together across the next 3 stitches. So we're going to insert our hook into the first stitch, pull up a loop, insert into the 3rd stitch or 2nd stitch, pull up a loop, and insert into the 3rd and pull up a loop. And now you have 4 loops on your hook. So yarn over and pull through all 4. And that's going to be at the beginning of row 3. And now we're going to start on our little repeating pattern that's in the middle of the row. So from here, we're going to repeat, putting 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So 1 and 1 more in the next. And in these next 2 stitches, we're going to put a single crochet decrease. So we're going to insert our hook and pull up a loop, and insert into the next stitch and pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And then we're going to repeat that. So we're going to do regular single crochet in the next, and then a single crochet decrease across the next 2. And we're going to repeat that all the way down until we have 1 stitch left. Okay, so once you have 1 stitch left, the 2 stitches before that should have been 2 regular single crochets, and then in the last stitch we're going to end up putting 2 single crochets there in the same stitch. So 1 and 2. And this is what it looks like now. So you can kind of see we're kind of decreasing on one side and increasing on the other side. So from here, that was row 2, and this was row 3. So those are our 2 rows of the repeat. So we're going to go ahead and repeat that until we have completed row 5. So essentially we're doing row 2 and 3 one more time. So go ahead and do that. All right, so this is what it looks like after you finish row 5. And now we're going to go ahead and do row 6. So chain 1 and turn. And you can kind of see we have like this weird trapezoid shape. It's not really looking like anything yet. But for row 6, we're going to pretty much do the same thing that we did in row 2. So we're just going to do our double crochet in the first stitch. And then we're going to do our spike stitch, our diagonal spike. So we're going to do our 3 double crochets and our diagonal spike. And repeat that down until you have 1 stitch left. And then when you have your 1 stitch left, we'll put our 1 double crochet in the last stitch. And this is what it looks like now. And so that was the first row of our next repeat, row 6. And we're going to be repeating row 6 and 7 for the rest of for a while. So from here, we're going to chain 1 and turn. And the only difference between row 7 and like row 3 and 5 is that we're stopping this increase on this side and we're going to decrease when we get down to that side. So it's pretty similar. We're going to start off with the single crochet 3 together. So 1, 2, and 3. And then yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. And then we're going to begin our alternating between 2 single crochets, 1 and 2, and then a single crochet decrease in the next 2. So then we're going to keep doing that. 2 single crochets, 1 and 2, and then a single crochet decrease in the next 2. So go ahead and repeat that down until this time you have 3 stitches left. All right, so when you have 3 stitches left, your last stitch should have been a single crochet decrease before your 3 stitches left. That's how the pattern works this time. Last time we had the 2 single crochets because we were using those last 2 stitches, but now that we have 3 stitches left, we're going to do another single crochet 3 together. So we're going to use these last stitches to make that single crochet 3 together decrease. And that's the difference between row 7 and the other odd rows that we were doing. So that's what it looks like now, and we're going to start decreasing now on this side. So now you're going to repeat row 6 and 7, and you're going to repeat that until there is only 1 puff stitch left in your row. So go ahead and continue the decreasing on both sides, and I'll all right, so this is what it looks like once you continue your decreases. And size small and medium, this should have been row 20 with the 1 puff stitch, and then size large, this should have been row 22, and 1x, this should have been row 24. So now we're on row 21, 23, or 25, depending on your size. So now we're going to chain 1 and turn. And you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches left in your row here. So we're going to do 2 single crochet 3 togethers. So insert your hook into the first stitch, pull up a loop, into the second, pull up a loop, and to the third and pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through all 4, and then you'll have 3 stitches left, and we'll just do that one more time. like that, and pull through all 4, and now you should have 2 stitches left in your row. So we're going to chain 1 and turn, and from here we're going to do 1 regular single crochet decrease, and from here we're going to chain 1 and fasten off. All right, so this is what it looks like once you finish the last row where you fasten off. And we're just going to turn this way so that now you can kind of see this is the front side of the bikini. And we're going to work downwards a little bit later. You can block this if you want. This is not exactly the same because our first row was double crochets, and this is just the way that the end of the stitch looks on that side. So it does match, but if you really want a perfect symmetrical fit, then you can block these little pieces so that it's a little more perfect to you. But other than that, we're going to put this one aside for now. That's the front side, and now we're going to do the back side. So we're going to get a brand new string, and I'm going to go through this pretty fast because this is so much like how the front goes. So we're going to do a slip knot, and then sizes small and medium, you can chain out 15 chains, and a large and 1X, go ahead and chain 18. And once you chain out your chain for your size, we're going to skip this first stitch, and then we'll do a double crochet 3 together along the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th stitches from the hook. So yarn over and do your first one and pull through 2 and don't finish, and then we'll do that 2 more times. It's 2 and 3, and then we'll yarn over and pull through all 4, and then we're going to put 1 double crochet in every stitch across until we have 1 stitch left. And then when you have your 1 stitch left, we'll put 3 double crochets in that last stitch. Two and 3. So we're kind of starting off the same way that we started off the last one. From here we'll chain 1 and turn, and then we're going to do our spiked puff row. So we'll put 1 double crochet in the first stitch, and then we'll do our 3 double crochets and then spike, or spiked puff, or diagonal puff. That's 2 and 3, and then we'll put our spiked puff like we've been doing, our diagonal puff. 1, 2, and 3, and we'll be repeating that spiked puff all the way down until we have 1 stitch left. And then when you have your 1 stitch left, go ahead and put 1 double crochet in that last stitch, and that's what it looks like now. And now we're going to go straight into decreasing in this next row. So we're not going to continue increasing on this one side. We're going to chain 1 and turn, and then we're going to put our 3 single crochet decrease, 1, 2, and 3, and then we're going to start our alternation between 2 single crochets and then a single crochet decrease. So single crochet, single crochet, single crochet decrease, and repeat that across. Single crochet, single crochet, single crochet decrease, until you have 3 stitches left. And then when you have your 3 stitches left, we'll do another single crochet 3 together in the last 3 stitches, and then chain 1 and turn. And now we're going to do our puff stitch row again. So we're going to alternate between rows 2 and 3. I'm sorry, yeah, 2 and 3 until we have 1 puff stitch left. All right, so this is what it looks like now, and it's literally just a mini version of the big one we just did. So yes, this last row with the 1 puff stitch in it, that should be row 8 for small and medium, and row 10 for large and 1X. And you should again have 6 stitches in this row. So from here we're going to chain 1 and turn and do our 3 single crochet 3 together, and then do 1 more single crochet 3 together, and then we'll chain 1 and turn and do another single crochet decrease to finish this off. And then we'll chain 1 and fasten off. Okay, so here's what our 2 little pieces look like. This is the back side and this is the front side. And now we're going to work on the middle of the piece. So we're going to reattach the yarn to kind of like the slip knot area. I'm actually just going to secure the slip knot with a chain 1 and fasten off kind of thing, just so that slip knot doesn't open. And then I'm going to take my new yarn and reattach to that cornermost stitch with a double knot. You can reattach however you like. And I just want to make sure that I can crochet over both of these tails as I go. So there's my double knot. And so once you have it reattached, we're going to crochet over both of these tails as we go. So I'm going to reinsert my hook, pull up a loop. That was tight. And then chain 1. And from here I'm going to put 1 double crochet in that same stitch. Okay, 1 double crochet in that same stitch. And then I'm going to put about 11 double crochets across. So space out your 11 double crochets as best as you can, but you should be able to comfortably fit 11 double crochets across the bottom. All right, and then once you have your 11 double crochets, we're gonna do our next row, chain 1 and turn. And in this row we're going to do a double crochet decrease in the first stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 3. And then we're going to put 1 double crochet in every stitch across until we have 2 stitches left. And then when you have your 2 stitches left, we'll do another double crochet decrease. And then we're going to repeat that decreasing row 1 more time. So chain 1 and turn and repeat that decreasing row. Okay, and now everyone should have 7 stitches in their row after that one repeat. So from here we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. And now we're going to put 1 double crochet in every stitch across. So you'll still have 7 double crochets in this row. Okay, so once you finish your row with 7 double crochets straight across, go ahead and chain 1 and turn. And then we're just going to be repeating that row by putting 1 double crochet in every stitch across until the end of the row. So we're going to repeat this row. So that row was row 4 and this is row 5. So size small, you're going to repeat this row until row 7 is complete, and a medium is going to go until row 8 is done, a large is going to go until row 9 is done, and a 1X is going to go until row 10 is done. All right, so now we are going to decrease again. So chain 1 and turn. And now we're going to put a double crochet decrease in the first 2 stitches. And 1 double crochet in every stitch across until we have 2 stitches left. And then we're going to do 1 more decrease in the last 2 stitches. All right, and then so we're going to do 1 more decreasing row. So right now everyone should have 5 double crochets in their row, so we'll do this row 1 more time. And all right, so once you're done with that repeat, then you'll have 3 stitches left in your row, and from here we're going to chain 1 and turn. So this row that we're about to do is row 10, 11, 12, and 13 for the sizes, small through 1X. So in the first stitch, we're just going to put 1 double crochet, and we're putting 1 double crochet in every stitch. So it's just 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. And then we'll chain 1 and turn and repeat that row, that same row. So we're on the back side, which is the skinny part. So 1, 2, and 3. All right, so we're going to repeat this row. So for size small, you're going to repeat this row until row 18 is done. A medium's going to go until row 20 is done. A large is going to go until row 24 is done, and a 1X is going to finish row 27. All right, so once you are done with your repeats for your size, now we're going to actually just attach it to this, this back triangle here. We're going to, so you're going to want to figure out which side you want to be your front side. I'm going to put my 2 right sides together like that, and then I'm just going to put a quick seam on the 2 of these. So yeah, let me go back and chain 1 and turn, just so I have a little height there. Chain 1 and turn, and then I'm going to put my 2 right sides together, which is right here. So make sure that when you put them together that you're putting your the orientation of your little puff stitches should be vertical and not like diagonal. They should be vertical here. So I'm just gonna insert my hook into one side and crochet them together. So I'll pull up a loop, and then chain 1. I'm going to go back into that same stitch. It's only 3 stitches, so same stitch there and the same stitch on the back. Pull up a loop and single crochet, and then I'll put 1 single crochet in every stitch. 2 and 3, like that. So that's kind of how I got those to go together. All right, so now once you're done sewing this together, we're gonna do our border. So I'm gonna switch from my G hook to my F hook, just so my border can be a little more tighter, but feel free to continue along with the G hook. So from here, I'm gonna chain 1 and turn my work so that the work is not facing this little seam here, so that I'm facing the right side. So it depends on which direction you're going in once you turn to your right side. If you're going up, then you'll have to fast forward and kind of see what I do up there, but it's really simple. If you're going down, then just follow along with me here. So what we're going to do towards the middle area of this piece is we're going to be lining it with single crochets, and then we'll be doing something different when we get up here. So going down this way, I'm going to insert my hook nearby and just put a single crochet, and from there I'm just going to be putting 2 single crochets in the side of every double crochet row as best as I can. So 1 and 2, 1 and 2. So we're going to continue just putting 1 single crochet or 2 single crochets in the side of every double crochet row until we get here. All right, so once we get to where our stitch pattern changes, just try to get a single crochet maybe in that corner there, and then we're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and kind of skip 1 stitch's length and then single crochet next to that. So we're just going to try to be spacing these little arches out as best as possible. So chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and try to skip the same amount that you just did. So we're going to do that all the way around. I can meet you when we hit this corner to show you how we'll do the corner, but continue that new stitch pattern for the border. Alright, so as I'm approaching the top, I'm just going to make sure that I can get 1 single crochet in that corner stitch. So I'm just going to try to cheat and space them out so that my last chain 4, 2, 3, 4, and then a single crochet in this corner happens. So that's the only trick to the corners. It's nothing super special. And then when you're done with that one side, we're just going to turn and keep going and doing the same thing. So chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and try to skip the same amount of space in between. And it's not going to be perfect just because there's no definitive stitches here, but you can just do the best you can. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I thought I chained 5. So anyway, go ahead and keep doing your little lacy border. And we're going to go all the way around with that lacy border until we hit this spot here, and that's where we pick up on our single crochets. And we're going to single crochet all the way to the spot where we started, corresponding spot there. And then from here we're going to pick up our lacy chain 4 single crochet stitch and go around until we get back to the beginning. Okay, so once you come all the way around with your border pattern, then we're going to try to ensure that our last loop is kind of ending where the one on the opposite side ended. So I'm going to try to line those up as best as I can, so it's nice and even. And it looks like I might put one more single crochet here just to even mine out. So you just kind of do what you got to make sure that those two sides are as even as you can get them. And then I'm going to add one more single crochet before I slip stitch into my first single crochet of the row. And then you can fasten off after that. So chain one and fasten off. And that's what it looks like now. So you can kind of see that we have our little thong here. Very cheeky. So now I'm just going to take a moment to weave in all of my tails. Alright, so now that I'm all weaved in here, I'm going to start on my tails. So I'll put that aside for now. And we're going to start off with let me get my G hook back. Start off with a slip knot. And then I'm going to chain out my chain. So size small, chain 90, medium, chain 100, large, chain 110, and 1X, chain 120. And once you have your chain for your size, we're going to pick one of the corners here, and I'm going to do it from the inside here, not from the front side, but from the wrong side. So I'm going to find my cornermost stitch, which should have a single crochet in it. And then I'm just going to single crochet around that stitch. Or you can place it wherever you think is best for you. This is just kind of how I'm doing mine. And then I'm going to chain out the same chain that I just did. So 90, 100, 110, or 120. And once you have your second side of the chain for your size, we'll just fasten that off. And then we'll repeat for the rest of the corners. Alright, so once you are finished putting all 4 sets of ties on your bikini, you are finished. So I really hope you all enjoyed this tutorial. It was a little bit different in construction from my normal bikinis. We made the 2 triangles first, and then we made the middle second, and then did the border. So it's a little bit different. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching once again. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave me a comment if you like this video. And feel free to share if you think a friend would like this video as well. So I will catch you on the next video. Bye.